Hey you guys, it's your favorite remote work enthusiast, Delilah, and in today's video, I'm going to answer a very popular question that has a lot of misinformation surrounding it. And that question is, are there flexible work when you want to work from home jobs? And we're just getting right to it. The answer to that question is no. However, there are some comparable options. Now, before I get into those options, I really want to make sure that I explain why the answer to this question is no. And in order for me to explain why the answer is no, is because when someone asks me this question, what they are asking me about is if there are opportunities out there that allow them, whenever they have any amount of free time, to clock in, make money for certain, and then when they get done, clock out. So kind of like the question is there like a equivalent to Uber Eats or DoorDash for work from home? Like, am I gonna get a set amount of money guaranteed if I clock in for any amount of time? And the answer to that is no. Now, the next best options that I can give you guys, and they're really great options, but they're not, exactly like what people are asking for. The next best options are user testing, AI training, and 1099 contractor, like call center roles. But I put them in the category of like, I'm doing user testing, I'm, training AI, and then like there's surveys, and then I'm doing like a contact center type role. Now, with the user testing, AI training, those types of things, those are project based and they're on as needed basis. Now with the user testing and AI training type roles, those are project based and the work is available on an at needed basis. So what that means is you might say, hey, I have a whole day that I can devote to doing, some user testing, some AI training. Let's see what you got for me. And you go on those platforms and they have nothing for you. Okay, so there's not a guarantee that there is going to be work available. Now, there's often work, okay? But if you're someone who has, calculated their bills and you're like, okay, I need a guaranteed additional $150 a week, and I have time to, do a new gig, do some sort of side hustle, part-time, whatever. With those user testing, AI training type of roles, you cannot guarantee that you're gonna have enough work even if you have the availability. So you can make some good money now, but you're not going to be able to guarantee every single week that you meet that number that you need to meet. So if that's not gonna work for you, then the next option, which I don't even care about surveys, you will be doing like surveys all day long for like 5 hours and you still won't have gotten $10, okay? So surveys aren't even in this, okay? The next thing are those 1099 call center opportunities. And some of the biggest companies that offer this type of work are called Working Solutions, Arise, LiveOps, and NextRep. I'm just gonna let you guys know that I have a bias towards Working Solutions, and no, it's not because I've worked with their HR many times. I said this before I even knew them. I didn't know anyone from their company. This is not a sponsored video, and I said this before I had ever done any sort of sponsored videos with them. But as far as the 1099 companies go that offer like call center type work, they have the best structure in my opinion. You don't have to pay for the training, and sometimes they'll give you a stipend for the training. You have a lot of control in the process. And I have a video about how to get started with Working Solutions. I have a whole playlist. You can click that up here if you are interested. It's gonna be somewhere on the screen. But there's those 4 companies: Working Solutions, Arise, LiveOps, NextRep. The way those companies operate is you have to be approved for their platform. You have to take the client training, and then you have to commit to an hourly guarantee. Some clients have a lower hourly requirement, some have a higher hourly requirement. So again, asking the question, can I just clock in and clock out when I want? No, because you also have to schedule yourself at least a week in advance. They need to know who's going to be on the phones servicing the client. They can't just leave it up to chance. So you might know ahead of time, at least a week in advance, like, hey, I have an appointment on Wednesday, so I can't work that day, but I'm good from 5 to whenever, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, however many days. And Also, you can only schedule yourself to work during the client's availability. So some companies aren't open all day long. If the company is open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., you have to be able to schedule some time within that time frame and meet the minimum hours of requirement. So there's a lot of details that I can give you guys about these 1099 companies. In fact, I'm actually working on updating a video that I made a long time ago comparing all of these 1099 companies that I just mentioned. If you want to check out that video, that playlist, that series, I'll put it somewhere at the top. I don't know which side. Okay, that was made pre-panoramic. I know what it's called, but I don't want YouTube to flag this video. Okay, so stuff may have changed on their platforms. That's why I'm gonna update that 1099 jobs companies video, and specifically those 4 companies. And maybe while you're watching this, that video has come out. But if you're watching this as soon as I post this video, then that's coming soon. Be on the lookout, because there's a lot of details. And I gave you guys the gist, but as far as which platform might be for you, you might like one platform over the other. So now that we have gotten that out the way, now that we understand that the answer to that question is no, but we have options, I'm gonna take you guys around on the internet to these companies' websites just so you know what they look like, kind of, you know, the process of getting started with them. And we're gonna do that right now. So let's jump into my computer screen. All right, you guys, so jumping on in here, I want to take y'all to some of these companies' websites. These are some of the more popular ones that you might hear floating around that people talk about. And I just want you to see how to get started, where to go, what it looks like, just so you know you're going to the right place, and, you know, give you a couple of details. Okay, so the first stop here is a company called Hotel Planner. And this is a legitimate company. Now, if you're not familiar with them, what they do is they offer where you can be a hotel planner from home. And the name of this company's parent company is Lexi Travel Technologies. So if you go to their Glassdoor, what you'll want to type in is Lexel, whatever, Travel Technologies. And you can see just a few reviews. They don't have a ton, but you can also, you know, look into YouTube, look online, see what other people are saying about them. And I have seen this company around. Now, to get started with becoming a certified planner, you would just scroll to the bottom and click on where it says that, and they outline the process. So let's just take a look at what the process is, okay? So you need to have your own high-speed internet connection, and then of course you need to have your own equipment. Then it says that after your application is approved, okay? So that's what I'm talking about. You can't just decide I want to do this and then start doing it. You have to be approved for these companies' platforms, okay? Not a big deal, okay? Not a big deal, but not the work whenever I want to willy-nilly kind of situation that some folks might be looking for, because we know that that does not exist. I'm gonna keep saying it, y'all. I'm gonna keep saying it. Okay, so you'll sign up, and then it says that once you are approved, you're gonna do a training program on how to navigate the reservation system and how to help callers book hotels. And then when you sign in anytime, 24/7, you'll be offered calls of customers looking to make hotel reservations. You don't need a phone. The call will be delivered through the Chrome browser. Okay, and so what that is, you're gonna have your little headset on. I have my headset right here, and you're taking phone calls through the computer. A lot of these opportunities have it set up that way. That's how I took calls when I was doing one of these years ago. Okay, and so then it says, if you accept a call which results in a hotel booking, you earn a commission based on the booking profit after the guest checks out. You are paid twice per month via check or direct deposit. As an independent certified travel planner, no benefits are provided. So remember, these aren't jobs, these are work opportunities. It's a different legal thingy, okay? You're a contractor, you're responsible for your taxes. And then it says the better booking your results and service ratings, the more calls you get. Okay, so you're going to be getting calls if you do a good job. If you're not booking and closing out on those calls and bookings, they're probably not going to send many to you, okay? Because they make money when people book. So they're not going to just send the calls to everybody. They're going to send the call to the folks who are really, securing those bookings. So your phone might dry up if you don't have success. Okay. And then based on your overall performance, you can expect to make $10 to $30 per hour. However, actual amounts vary depending on your sales performance and call demand when you sign in. So I just want to be very clear about something, y'all. With the way this company is structured and how they're gonna, give you calls if you're good at, closing the bookings and whatnot, you could be sitting there for, let's just say you got 4 hours. Okay. You could be sitting there for 4 hours and maybe you might close a couple of calls. You might be making $10 for those 4 hours. If every call that comes through, you book it, maybe in those 4 hours, you might earn a little bit more. But I just want y'all to understand that this is commission based. So there are no guarantees that your time is going to equal money. Your time could be just time spent. So those are the things you got to think about when you're doing something like this, okay? And some of these call centers, they operate that same way. If you're sitting there in place ready to take a call, I remember Live Ops, okay? I'll share them next. Why not, since I'm talking about them? So Live Ops, this is one of those 1099 call center roles. I remember when I was, researching for that video years ago, and I even did like the little information session, they'll let you know when you look at the opportunities. Let's see if I can pull one up and give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. So, okay, you got to live in one of these locations to be an independent contractor. They used to let you see on their website the clients. Let's see if they show you that. Okay, let's see if they show you the client information. Okay, so scrolling down here, I'm just choosing one. All right, so you'll choose your own schedule by self-scheduling in 30-minute blocks. Successful insurance sales agents can commit to at least 15 hours per week. So that's what I'm talking about. There's a minimum, okay? But I wanna see if they guarantee you any amount. Trying to see if they have that here. All right, you gotta pay for your background check. All right, they don't tell us the pay for this one. Let me check out another one. What I'm trying to find and show y'all, they once upon a time would let you know that you are only going to get paid X amount when you're actually talking. So you might be sitting there, again, using the example of I'm sitting here, I got 4 hours, the phone's not ringing. So you're only paid when you're actively talking on the phone. And they used to tell you in the information about the job, or the work opportunity, I should say, how much they would pay you per minute while you're talking. Perhaps they have changed that. I'm going to get to the bottom of it when I do that research on these independent contract companies. But Live Ops, as we can see, you're going to pay $25 for your background check. You have to live in one of these approved states, and they have multiple clients on here. But what you have to do is you have to apply, then they have to approve you, and you can find out more information about becoming an independent contractor by going to this link. So you got to first be eligible, then you have to submit an application, do your paid background check, and then they'll contact you for the next step. So that's Live Ops, lots and lots of information about them. You can even go to their Glassdoor and read their reviews. But yeah, this is definitely a company that you can, do 1099 contract work with. So moving along here, gotta pick up the pace, but I want to give you guys details if you are interested. Another one of those user testing AI training companies is called Annotation. And so you get paid to train AI on your own schedule. But guess what, y'all? It's based on projects. So if we click this apply now, they're gonna tell us some information. You gotta do the whole application process. But let's go down here. Let's see. Starting at 20 plus an hour, millions paid out. They have some information. do task, earn money. So yeah, it's based on tasks. So you'll create an account and they're accepting folks from the US, Canada, and UK. If you are outside of those countries, you're still welcome to make an account. And then you'll take the starter assessment and then you can start earning. So you got to be approved for this. And then you can start taking on projects. So you'll choose the projects. But remember, you got to have projects to choose from. So you could make some good money, but is it guaranteed steady? That's to be decided. And you can check out their Glassdoor. They have a lot of information on here. So that's the kind of stuff you want to see if you find something outside of the companies that I'm sharing with y'all right now. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is another user testing tasks type website. It's called Appen. You're going to be doing pretty much the same type of stuff as you are at data annotation. And so if you want to get started, you just hit join our crowd, and then they give you information about how to get started. And they're always going to advertise big money. It's going to seem like it's really easy, but I will tell you guys from experience, you will be spending a lot of time doing some of these things. So the juice may not be worth the squeeze sometimes. If you just want to make a few extra bucks and you got the time to burn, hey, and no judgment about that. Just keep that in mind. Like, you're just not going to be laughing all the way to the bank, and you might not always have opportunities to do. So they give you the information here and you can get paid. Let's move on to the next company. So the next company, and I'm just going to let you know, this is same deal, but I personally, from a business to business experience, do not like this company. They do bad business. And I said I wasn't going to speak on it, and I won't, but just know that your girl has dealt with them internally, and I will never deal with them again. And they operate the exact same way as, these other companies, except you just might not get paid. So moving along is a company called Amazon Mechanical Turk. This is an Amazon company and it's a task-based company. So you can get started by clicking here. And so if you want to be someone who does tasks, you need to request a worker account. Let me go back and see some of the information that they have for us here. So how it works is people are going to have tasks they need completed. They're going to put them on the mTurk marketplace, and workers want to earn money and work on interesting tasks. So there's going to be other people competing with you, just like with all these other platforms for the task, and then they'll choose someone who they want to do the task. So again, great way to make some extra money, do some tasks in your pastime, but are you going to have a guaranteed amount every week? Not necessarily, but you can find out more information about them. Go to Amazon's Glassdoor account, and under their Glassdoor account, you'll just click on reviews. You can search for mTurk worker. You can also type in mTurk freelancer. That's the option that pops up. And then you can also see reviews under just mTurk. Yeah, like that. So if you want to hear people's honest opinions about doing Mechanical Turk work from Amazon, you can do that. And they have 230,000 total reviews. So I'm sure you're going to find plenty to, at least get you an idea of what to expect. So moving along here, the next company that I want to share is Fiverr. So you may be familiar with Fiverr, you may not be familiar with them. If you are someone who has skills in, you name it, whatever kind of area, you can create a Fiverr offer and people can pay you for that. So maybe you're someone who's really good with Excel and you are good at making spreadsheets and all the little charts and graphs and whatnot. You can create a task on here for, let's see, Excel. And I use Fiverr all the time, but you can make a thing for, hey, I offer services doing Excel stuff, and you can see like what some people are charging. This person has 134 reviews and they charge 150, and you can make some good money. But again, it's task-based, project-based. You're the one putting it out there, and then people are coming to you. So it's kind of like you get to have your own little entrepreneurial side hustle, but people might not choose your offer. So that's always a possibility as well. And Fiverr, very well-known company. You've probably seen their ads, but they have options for pretty much everything. Now, similar to Fiverr is Upwork. Okay, same deal. You can take on projects or you can create projects. Oh, and that reminds me, same thing with Fiverr. Sorry, I don't mean to be all over the place, but there are people who will post a project that they need done and you can bid on doing that. So that's another way you can get work from Fiverr. You can create the service like these folks did, and then when people make a custom request, you can take those custom requests. Anyway, so back to Upwork, same deal, works exactly like Fiverr. It's more of like an entrepreneurial type thing, and you can, get opportunities, or you can, say, hey, I can do this. And if they choose you, then you can get the client work. Now, moving along, okay, Working Solutions. This is the company that I mentioned that I have a whole playlist with them, and I personally prefer. I have a getting started video that I, have somewhere in the cards up here, and you can click on that and you can learn how to become a pro. And they offer a lot of different clients. So if you click at the top here, find gigs, you can see some of their clients that are available right now, but you'll see more once you're on their platform. So you'll have to take an assessment. Once you take that assessment, then you will finish signing up for a client, and then you'll do like a little pre-recorded virtual interview. And then after all that is good to go, and it's super easy peasy, they will let you on their platform. You can choose your training start date, and you can choose multiple clients. So with these, you can mix and mash them, all these companies that I'm talking about, because you're a contractor. So you're not beholden to any one of them. If you like a client and the hours on one of these platforms, and if you like a client and the hours on another platform, you can put it together. So super easy. Watch that video and I'll give you all the details. And then next company, we're almost done, y'all, but I told you I want to give you all these options. Arise, they operate the same way. When I did Arise years ago, I had to pay for the training class. I recently heard someone say that they don't make you pay for the training class anymore. I'll find out for sure when I do my research. And then I believe I paid for a background test, but I can't remember. It was so long ago. And I did an energy client. I did not like it at all, but I got started, I was on the phones, and I can see why people would like it. So you can see their clients and whatnot. And when you choose a client, so let's say, for example, I want to choose this one. I'm just choosing something. Okay, you'll have to register for their platform, and they let you know what to expect for each client. And, once you have registered for their platform, you'll sign up for the training, you'll attend the client training, and then you can start servicing. And same deal, you got to schedule yourself a week out. Sometimes hours are really competitive, so you got to be on there early to get those hours as soon as the schedule's open, and then you can service. So that's how it works with Arise. And then next up, last but certainly not least, is a company called NextRep. So they have clients as well, and you can find out what it's like to be an agent by clicking here. They give you some information. You're gonna have to take an assessment. Once you're approved on their platform, you'll do the client training, and it works the same way as the other companies. So those are all of the options. I wanted to try and give y'all details without, making this video super duper long, but all the companies that I just mentioned are going to be linked in the description box below. And just keep in mind that with these options, there's a give and a take, but these are as flexible as it gets. I just want to have it on record for everyone to know that you aren't going to find a legitimate job that lets you clock in, clock out, guarantees you, something per hour, and, you can come and go as you please, but you have these options, which I think is a great alternative. So these are the companies, you guys. Okay, you guys, I really hope that was helpful for y'all. And I just want to point out, I have a lot of resources if you are seeking a work from home job. I have a software called the Remote Resume Builder software. We have tons of templates and you can easily create, customize your resume using these templates, or if you want to, you can start from scratch. And we offer a $1 7-day trial. And after that, it's only $37 per month. And these are ATS optimized templates. So you are putting your best foot forward when you use the software. Also, we have something called Extra Leads Club. If you are a busy working person, you're a mom, you're a dad, you're a student, you just got a lot going on, looking for jobs while you have other stuff going on is very challenging. So let us handle the job search for you. When you join Extra Leads Club, we deliver about 3 dozen of the best work from home jobs to the Extra Leads Club app every single weekday. And it helps you save tons of time and you can just focus on getting your applications in. And it's also just $1 during our 7-day trial, and it's only $10 a month to get hundreds of verified work from home jobs sent to you. So consider joining Extra Leads Club today. Also, I have the mega list of jobs on my website, remoteworklife.co. There are tons of companies on there. I have the direct link to their careers pages. So go there, find out if they have new stuff for you to apply to. And that's how you can get in even more applications. And this is a free resource that I offer y'all. And then last but certainly not least, don't sleep on Amazon. They have so many pieces of equipment that are priced to move. And I always talk about the computers. They are priced just right. You can get the whole hookup for under $150. So check out all of those resources. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly hope this video has been helpful. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want more work from home opportunities and information. And I'll see you next time. Bye.